teens were at White Sox Park for a radio station promotion called Anti-Disco.
Say the second game.
On fire in center field.
The guy who was cracking the record.
Yeah, awed by some youngsters who came to record.
And this is the point where they started to blow up some disco records.
You could say that our story starts with John Travolta's film, Saturday Night Fever, about the disco craze. But that isn't really true. You have to go all the way back to Elvis Presley, to the Beatles, to rock and roll, and then finally comes disco. A very large, very lucrative new business of dance music. Maybe the biggest wave yet, because it certainly seems that more and more Americans are getting more and more into the disco scene.
Joel has held two similar rallies to stage blow-ups of disco records, each one resulting in a similar disturbance.
Disco albums out there. There was some golf balls out there that says "Disco Sucks" on it. It was just a horrifying.
How about the Bee Gees? Oh, I see. Okay. Well, listen, we took all the disco records that you brought tonight. We got them in a giant box, and we're going to blow them up real good. Now, we will be returning to the scene of the crime here on the 5th of August for a day in the park with Journey and Santana. You know the whole boogie. And we'll blow up some more. Real good. Me and Teenage Radiation, so we'll see you here for that too, okay? Listen, little snot nose here. Little snot nose. Jump for a little snot nose. Ah, shucks, he's embarrassed. Little snot nose and I want to thank y'all for coming tonight, making us look clean like this. You know, we're pretty important now around the station. They might not even care if the news is late from now on. We appreciate you coming, but most of all, we appreciate you listening to us every morning, supporting us, and hey, it's because of you that this is happening tonight, okay? Not because of us. We're merely a vehicle for your thoughts. Disco sucks. 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 Disco. Let's try a coho chant. Let's try a coho chant. Coho, 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 coho. The lovely Laura. Let's hear it for the lovely Laura. The loop lady. Okay, listen. I'm going to go blow up the records real good. And then if things work out right here, we'll come back. Now, we already had one national anthem tonight, but that's not the one we want to hear. We want to hear the Insane Coho Lips national anthem. What do you think on disco? Here's a little snot nose to give you the play-by-play on the blow-up.
Okay, let's usher Steve down to the explosives with a loud "Disco Sucks" chant. Disco sucks. 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 Disco Disco sucks. Disco sucks. Disco sucks. Disco sucks. Disco sucks. Disco sucks.
After they blow up the record, we'll be right back with an interview with Bill Gleason, the columnist, after this message.
Disco sucks. Disco sucks. Disco sucks. Disco sucks. And we're never going to let them forget it. They're not going to shove it down our throats. We rock and rollers will resist, and we will triumph. All right, you ready? We're going to count to 3 and then go boom. And they're going to blow up real good, I'm telling you. It's going to be high. 1, 2, 3, boom! Here they go! That blew up real good! Yeah! The call-ups win again! All right. If we can get somebody to roll the music for, do you think? No, I'll tell you what, I'm going to sing it without the music. Me and Little Snot Nose. And we need, now listen now, we need your help. We need your help with the national anthem. You got to give us a disco backbeat, okay? Now this is the only time I authorize you doing it, but it's for a good cause. The backbeat goes like this. Oh, he's got the music ready. Okay, well, go ahead and roll the music then. And you can backbeat. It goes, ooch, 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 ooch. That's a disco backbeat. Ah, yes. I can't hear the music too well, but what the hell? I never know what I'm doing half the time anyway. I wear tight pants. I always stuff a sock in. It always makes the ladies start to talk in. My shirt is open. I never use the buttons. Though I look hip, I work for E.F. Hunting Snot Nose. Do you think I'm disco? Cause I spent so much time blow drying out my hair. You like it? Do you think I'm disco? Cause I know the dance steps. Learn them all at Fred Astaire.
As we say, the second game
On fire in center field, and they also ripped up some turf in front of the pitcher's mound, about a foot wide and about 10, 12 feet long. And they had a meeting with Sparky Anderson and Don Kessinger and Bill Vecht, and one of the supervisors of the umpires was here along with the head umpire. And after that meeting, I guess they've decided to cancel the game.
Okay, any injuries that you know of?
Not that I know of. We have no reports of any arrests either as of right now.
More on that for us right now.
I've been planning to cover that particular story for about a week and a half now, and the disc jockey involved, Steve Dahl.
Is that the guy who was cracking the record of the skull?
You'll see him in a second. But, he doesn't really plan to have anything like this happen. And, I know he's probably going to catch a lot of flack for it, and it's undeserved. But, we'll talk more about that as the week goes on. A packed house out at Comiskey Park tonight on teen night, and there was more happening, of course, than just the twilight doubleheader scheduled with the Detroit Tigers. In that first game, and the only game game. As it turned out, the Tigers practically stole White Sox catcher Mike Colburn blind in Game 1. They got their first run on Colburn's wild throw to second base, and then they scored their second run. Tom Brookins tripled into the left field corner to make it a 2-0 game. Greg Pryor drove in the only White Sox run of the day with a triple down into the left field corner, and here comes Rusty Torres around to score. But the Tigers went on to win it by a score of 4-1, and of course, Game 2 was canceled with all the activities happening out between games. Then on team night, WLUP held a disco demonstration. We'll talk about that a little bit more too, but Game 2 was canceled out there this evening. Between game activities, the main attraction, the disco demolition, spearheaded by morning radio man Steve Dahl and his anti-disco army called the Insane Coho Lips. Earlier, I asked Steve just what he has against disco.
Well, the first thing I have against it is that I can never find a white three-piece suit that fits me off the rack. So I hate the taste of pina coladas. I'm allergic to gold jewelry, so there's nothing there for me. I'm a cheapskate. I don't like to waste a lot of money at home, you know, in terms of my electrical bill, and you have to spend so much time blow drying your hair. It's a waste of energy. Okay, I'm ecologically meaningful and cheap, so I'm not into it. I'd like to, if I could, show you how we destroy the disco records. And this is how I do it. I have to kind of get worked up a little bit.
Psych job.
Yeah, I chant to myself, coho lips, and then I just... Oh, that felt good.
Well, worthy as the cause may be, the idea of the game was to blow up disco records in a box out in the middle of center field. That did happen, but after that is when the fans overran the field. We have other baseball news today. The Cubs, after a long rain delay in Cincinnati, are finally playing. They are underway. They are scoreless in the third inning at Cincinnati. The Cubs have a chance to gain a full game on the Montreal Expos because the already lost.
She drove around the stadium several times. She was concerned about what was going on. She was mobbed by some youngsters who came to her car to talk to her, but then she just drove on. So, except for some of the fireworks and a lot of anti-disco slogans, things, believe it or not, are returning back to normal. Bill and Carrie.
Where they started to blow up some disco records in that promotion, that the fans came out of the stands and really covered, as you saw, the whole ballpark out there.
Johnny, a question for you. You say that this is a gimmick that's gone too far, obviously. Did Bill Veeck do any checking into the former disturbances that were over anti-disco sentiment?
Apparently not. And that's the surprising thing, because Bill Veeck has a lot of good common sense. He's a good man, and he's very conservative when it comes to that respect. But I think he let his promotional aspirations get out of hand here, and he saw 50,000 fans there, and he went for it.
Some of the White Sox people were playing down what we are calling a disturbance, saying there were no injuries. They didn't even see any rocks and bottles thrown. Kind of a summer night enthusiasm by the fans, but we do see on videotape the batting cage going over. We have had some reports of rocks and bottles. There are arrests, although we don't have any reports at this moment of injuries. Veeck called off the second game at 10 o'clock tonight.
Well, the mistake is obviously when you create the climate for something like this, then there's a possibility it happens. And Bill Veeck he could have said, we're not going to create that kind of climate.
Gene Siskel is standing by with a review of Bloodline. Gene?
Well, Bill, that's Bloodline with Audrey Hepburn.
Records flew like frisbees, more fireworks exploded, bottles were thrown, and an estimated 7,000 spectators staged their very own demolition. 4 fans were injured during the melee, 40 others arrested, and even after the disturbance was quelled, ballpark area residents aired their own complaints.
I had to chase 2 boys out of my hall that was urinating in it. And also we had a car on the curb by our house.
Have you ever had anything like this?
We had it last year when they had a disco going on here. We're all constantly cleaning our halls and our streets here with beer cans from these people coming here. We got a nice neighborhood, and this is our livelihood right here. We live here. We keep it clean.
This morning, cleanup crews tried to repair the damage on the infield, but on the 37th floor of the Hancock building, it was business as usual for Steve Dahl and his anti-disco campaign.
We didn't do this thing last night as a publicity stunt, but it sure is turning into one, isn't it?
Oh, you think so?
And what the heck? I'll do whatever you want, you know? Just as long as they spell your name wrong. It's the old adage. That'd be pretty funny. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't, like I said, I didn't see it when they came out.
I didn't see that many bottles or that many records flying, so I don't know. You know, there were some people that got a little carried away, and...
But you're not taking responsibility for what happened.
I don't think I have to. I haven't done anything. I packed Bill Veeck's baseball stadium for him, made him a lot of money last night, did my job, everybody liked it, I left. People wanted to come on the field, and their security people couldn't keep them in the stands.
You'd do it all over again?
I'm not a security guard.
Would you do it over again?
Yeah, with more security guards.
No. Police are at a loss in trying to explain what happened last night.
Everybody's looking for fault. I don't think anybody actually planned to have a riot or planned to have problems. I think it was probably some good methodology to get a crowd, but it overworked. It was like a person puts an ad in a paper to sell something and they run out of goods. There's not enough goods.
After the second game of the doubleheader was called off last night, spectators were told to keep your rain checks, but it is still unclear whether that second game will be forfeited.
Tonight's ball game, the White Sox will feature Magic Night, although it'll take a pretty good trick to make people forget what happened here last evening.
But looking back, what's the big deal? We all know that records were made to be broken.